Hi, my name is Dennis, and I know it's okay if you laugh. Some people get uncomfortable with me. I see some of you in the halls before, but I was supposed to tell you a story. I was walking through school the other day, and I dropped my books, and that's probably not a big deal for you, but for me, it's a major production. And I'm standing there looking at my books, wishing I could use the force or something, to get them back up. And this pretty girl walks up and she said, "Can I help you with your books?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she picked up my books and she said, "I'll carry them to your class, And I was like, "Hey, who am I to keep a pretty girl from carrying my books to class, And so we get there and she sits down and we're talking for a little while. She said her name was Stacy, and I was like, "Hi, my name's Dennis, And anyway, right before the bell rings, she said, "Hey, me and some of my friends are going roller skating tomorrow night. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "I don't do so well on wheels, She said, "That's all right, I will help you." And I said, "Okay, So that night came and her mom picked me up at my house and took us to the roller skating rink. I don't know who was more scared, me or the guy that I handed my money to and said, "Size 9.5, please," Stacy helped me get my roller skates on, and for the most part, I just sat there and watched everybody skate. But it was really cool just to be there with other kids and to be a part of something, And then Stacy skated over to me. She said, "Dennis, come on, come skating." And I was like, "Nah, that's cool, I'm good, And she's like, "Come on, I will help you." And I said, "Okay." So Stacy helped me. We got out on the roller skating rink, and this leg went that way, and this leg went that way, I made it all the way around twice. It was so cool. After we had finished, Stacy's mom took me home, and as I was getting out of the car, Stacy said, "Hey, Dennis, tomorrow afternoon, they're having some friends over. We're going to swim and eat out. You want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't do so well in water either, She said, "That's okay. I will help you." So I went. My mom dropped me off at Stacy's house, and for the first part, I just kind of sat out on the lawn chair. Just feeling the sun on my body felt so good. And then Stacy was swimming in the pool, and she said, "Dennis, come on in." And I was like, No, that's okay. I'm cool. She said, "Come on, I will help you." I said, "Okay." So I got down in the shallow end and was standing there, and I was like, woo, Stacy said, "Come on in a little deeper." And I said, "No, She said, "Come on, Dennis, I will." And I went, I know, you will help me, okay, So she held out her arms and she let me float for a while. It was incredible. After we finished swimming, we were eating hamburgers, and Stacy was talking, and she was telling about her dreams and the stuff she wanted to do with her life, She looked at me. She said, "Hey, Dennis, tell me about your dreams." And I was like, "I don't really have any dreams." She said, "Come on, everybody has dreams." And I was like, "No, not me, no." She just kept persisting, and I got kind of frustrated at her. And so finally I told her, I said, "Okay, Stacy, you want to know my dream? I'll tell you my dream." I said, "In my dream, this old leg is straight like everybody else's. And in my dream, this old hip is right in place like everybody else's. And in my dream, these old hands, they are not crippled anymore. And I can run and jump and walk in the hallways and carry my books, and nobody looks at me funny. And I said, in my dream, I don't need these old glasses to see anymore. And I said, in my dream, my mouth is normal, just like everybody else's. And in my dream, I don't stand out. Nobody looks at me, laughs at me. But then I realized It's just a dream. Stacy sat there silently. All of a sudden she looked at me and she said, "That's the dumbest dream I've ever heard." I was all like, "Hey, you sure know how to make a crippled guy feel good, you know?" She said, "No, Dennis, you don't get it. You are one of God's original masterpieces." And I said, "No, Stacy, you don't get it. I'm a joke is what I am." She just shook her head at me. She said, "Dennis, you're so busy looking at the outside." She said, "We all have handicaps, Dennis. It's just easier to see yours." She said, "But God doesn't look as man looks. For man looks on the outward appearance, but God, he looks on the heart." And she's right. Changed my outlook that day. I guess it was like 3 weeks later or so, Stacy invited me to go to church with her. Surprise. But I went there and I found out why she was the way she was. Because of all the people that were a part of her life and helped her overcome her handicaps. I tell you today, you are God's original masterpiece. And you may not feel like it, and you may say, "Hey, Dennis, you don't get it. You don't know what my handicap is." And I say, "No, I don't. But don't worry, because God is saying to you right now, I will help you." Thank you.
To one of the skit guys, friend that he had in high school. True story. There is a Dennis and there is a Stacy. And there's really two people here tonight. You're either a Dennis, let me explain it this way. And under a Dennis, there's actually an A and B subpoint. Let me put it to you this way. There are some Dennises in here tonight. Oh, you may not be, overtly crippled. But when I talk about masterpiece, you just look at me and go, whatever, Rev Kev. Whatever. And you are his masterpiece. In fact, you may even cover it up by, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you act, play sports. Try and do everything you can so nobody sees that you're really a poser in life and a phony. And tonight, God is just wanting to make you his masterpiece, I mean, tonight, the only plan that God really has is to make you his perfect creation. Make you in his image. Some of you, seriously, you've never asked Jesus Christ into your heart. You haven't. You've not surrendered to him. And I don't know, Eric, you may be a church kid. I don't know. It may be one of the visitors, and you're sitting here going, "Man, I don't get this stuff." There's some people right around here. In fact, I'm going to ask all the leaders just to head back there and line up around here. About basketball goals over the way. If you can just line up back there. This is how we're going to do it. This is for real. This isn't playtime. All God wants to do is make you his masterpiece. All he wants to do is break the chains in you and set you free. Guys, one more time. Listen to me. Everybody look right here. One more time. Will you please let him do his creation inside of you? Some of you are Christians, but when I said masterpiece, you're still going, "Oh, I'm lousy." You're like Athena. You know what I told Athena? I told Athena, here it is. I said, "Athena, what is a pottery pot used for?" She goes, "Well, usually to hold water." I said, "That's what it's supposed to do?" "Yeah." I said, "Athena, hold water." She went like, you all are going, "What?" I said, "Be what you're created to be. God's masterpiece. Hold the water of God. Do what he made you to do. If he made you to be a paperweight, be a paperweight. If he made you to take glory to that neighborhood right across the street, then take glory to that neighborhood. Do what he called you to do. Be his masterpiece." And for all of us, let's take the next step. Let's do the God works like Stacy did.